Hi guys, I am back with another Enneagram 9 video. It's been a while since I've done a video in this series, but there has been a subject that has just been weighing on my heart a lot lately, and clients that I have been bringing it to me, and I just thought, you know what? I really want to unpack this and discuss this today, discuss this idea of, are you stuck? What does that look like for a 9? And the word that keeps coming to my mind is the word inertia. And so we're going to kind of break that down today, figure out what that looks like in a 9 and how can we move past that and different things like that. And so welcome to my channel. I have my coffee. I'm cozy. I've got a cozy sweatshirt on. I'm a 9. For those new here, I'm Hillary. I'm your Certified Enneagram Life Coach, and I love to teach the Enneagram in the simplest and easiest way possible. Truthfully, it's because it's the way I needed to learn it. And so I love just breaking it down piece by piece for you all and teaching you one video at a time. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this down over here because I did not think this through. I don't have anywhere to put my coffee right here, so that's okay. It can go behind me. But yeah, I just kind of want to start right now and dive into, are you stuck? And what does that look like? And what I really want to emphasize about this video is, while it is for type 9s, I really believe it's for all types, because anybody can struggle in this area and be stuck and whatever that looks like for them in their life, and especially if you're connected to a 9. You could be a 1 with a 9 wing. You could be an 8 with a 9 wing. You could be a 3 that goes towards a 9 in stress. You could be a 6 that goes towards a 9. I think, is it their blind spots, the 9? And then they do go there towards health, but you really can use all parts, and any other type really can get stuck. And so I really wanted to kind of start with that of, if you aren't a 9, but you've stumbled on this video, it's okay. A lot of this is based around being an Enneagram 9, but it can help anyone. And so let's go ahead and look up that definition of inertia, which for me, it says inertia, a tendency to do nothing or to remain unchanged. And I do think a lot of people struggle with this, especially if you're an Enneagram 9. Our core weakness is sloth. And what that refers to is a sense of inertia or laziness, particularly with regard to yourself and your priorities and agenda. And so for the 9, that sloth means a sense of inertia or laziness, but not how you think. It's not lazy in your everyday stuff and what you're doing, because really a 9 can be extremely busy, just not always doing the right thing. And why? It's because your sense of inertia or laziness has to do with yourself, your priorities, your agenda. And a lot of time a 9 is asleep in this or not moving in this. They don't want to be affected. They kind of just don't want the world to affect them at all. And so they kind of can stay in this state of inertia. And so that's what I really wanted to break down today. I'd love you to start thinking about your own life and what are some areas that you're currently stuck in or have been stuck in your past? And are you sitting here? Because clearly you clicked on this video, and so I'm assuming you're like, okay, Hillary, I need you to help me get unstuck. And that is hopefully what I'm going to do today. Just give you some tools to help you to get unstuck, because it really does start with you. And it really does take the 9, or, even if you're not a 9, becoming aware of your why and why you're stuck and what that looks like and things like that. And so that's kind of where we're going. Where I want to start with is, are you in limbo? Are you having a hard time right now making decisions, figuring out your own purpose, figuring out where you want to go in life, what you want to do? Or do you have a ton of ideas and you're like, actually, I have a lot of ideas of what I want to do, but maybe there's so many of them you don't know where to start, or maybe you're scared to start. Maybe if you do start, it causes conflict somehow. Maybe going after your own dreams and desires is not what other people have for you. Maybe it's different than what people want for you. Because a lot of times a 9 could feel the room, could feel others, at all times. And unfortunately, it causes them to not be able to feel their own feelings and thoughts and desires sometimes. That can be one reason why some people get stuck. It's because to get unstuck might cause conflict with something or someone or within themselves, right? And so I think identifying if you are stuck, why you're stuck, why you can't move, what's holding you back can really help you. The one thing that has helped me immensely is realizing that when I think of a rock and I think of it not moving, how does it move? Well, it can't move on its own, right? And so something or someone has to push it, make it move, something happens, Sometimes I think that is similar to the Enneagram 9, that we won't move unless pushed, unless somebody else gets us to move or something else gets us to move. Some examples I was thinking of are something crazy happens in your life and all of a sudden it causes you to move, or something big causes you to move, or, something tragic happens and it causes you to move. I know that is my story. That's a piece of my story. And I really wanted to share that with you guys, where I'm an Enneagram coach, right? I'm a life coach. I, went and got all the certifications for this and started my business and everything, but I'm an Enneagram 9. And so I get this question a lot of, Hillary, how are you moving forward? And I'm going to be honest with you. I wish I would have done this a long time ago in my 20s, because the dream was there. The desire was there. The giftings were there. I was there, but I couldn't propel myself forward. I just didn't. I don't even know if I couldn't, but I didn't. I didn't go after my own dreams and desires. I was so concerned with everybody else's, so I was making sure everybody else met theirs first. And so if you're doing that, I would dig deep into that and figure out that why, and if that's a healthy space for you to be in, because I don't think it was for me. I didn't really start this part of my journey until my mid-30s, and what happened was I lost my mom. And I've talked about this before. I haven't shared the whole story yet. That is coming, but I've been putting that off because I have to dig deep into feelings and emotions. My mom passed away in my mid-30s, and it caused me to wake up and go, what am I doing with my life? I have all these dreams and desires and giftings, but I'm not doing anything with them. And unfortunately, I guess I'm thinking of myself as like a rock and I'm not moving. Well, something tragic happened and it did cause me to move. I look back and I go, did it have to be that way? No. If I would have had the tools and self-awareness, I do think I would have moved sooner. And so that's what I'm doing today, is giving you the tools and the self-awareness. And I just want you to identify in your own life, where are you stuck? Where is inertia playing a part? But I believe inertia is also, once it gets rolling, it's rolling until stopped, right? And so the other piece to especially Enneagram 9s is we're either doing nothing or we're going full force. And so when you are, moving, utilize that to your advantage. Know that, okay, I'm on that path of movement and I'm going after it. Don't allow something or someone to stop you, or a conflict to stop you. Go after, those dreams and those desires and what really you're put here on earth to do. I believe, you have purposes, there are plans for you. And it's so important for a 9 to take their place in life and show up who they're supposed to be and who they're meant to be. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, a lot of times this all has to do with cause and effect. Think of your life when you were moving in life and you made a big decision. What caused it? Were you able to just make that decision and go after what you wanted? Maybe you were. Or did something happen? I know sometimes it could be like a health issue happened and then I had to make a decision, or, something else happened and I had to make a decision. And so I think my want to today is to help you identify those moments. And I think when we uncover and we learn more about ourselves and have more self-awareness of what we do and what our patterns are, we can identify them faster and not let that dictate us and control us. Because if you think about it, especially if you're a 9, if you don't move unless something comes or someone comes and moves you, you're essentially, to me, being controlled a little bit. So, and 9s don't want to be controlled, right? We do not like to be controlled. And so that kind of wakes me up too, where I'm like, no, I don't want to just sit here and wait until something happens for me to move. So how do I do it today? How do I not wait? And I know I have done a video on sloth, and I think some of this might be a little similar, but I just feel like this is such an important conversation for type 9s that I get it all the time with my clients. And so it's like, okay, how do I move, Hillary? what do I do? And all I know is when a 9 actually sits down and writes down a list, it could help them. I would also say identify your time wasters. What is wasting your time? I know for me personally, I love games on my phone. I will just sit on a game for hours. It could be solitaire. It could be anything. But it allows me to fall asleep. Reading books was a big one for me. That allowed me to live somebody else's life out and not have to show up to my own. Again, these things aren't wrong. It's just we have to have boundaries on them so that they don't suck the life out of us and take things from us and steal time from us. And so for me personally, I just had to put some strict boundaries down for myself and move forward and, do the things that I'm meant to do. And I have to say right now, as I'm speaking to you, I actually am in a current struggle and I have not been able to have a breakthrough. And I'm hoping after doing this video, I'll listen to my own advice and have a breakthrough. But I stopped exercising. I used to go to a class a couple years ago before the world, changed on us. And that got me there because I had a friend I met at an exercise class and we exercised every day for the most part. And I stayed in shape that way. But then I haven't been doing that for couple years, a year and a half. I'm not for sure how long. A couple months ago, we went ahead and bought a treadmill and I thought, okay, that's going to help me. I'm going to get on this treadmill. I spent some money. I'm going to work out. And I did. And I got on there for probably a week and a half and I was super sore, which I do not like being sore. I just hate it. I don't know. Do you like being sore? Do you work out? Do you like being sore? I just hate it. And sometimes that's what causes me not to do it. Plus it was like every morning, I like to have mornings a little bit more slow in the morning, but it's like in order for me to get on with my day and, meet with clients and do all of this, I had to have my workouts in the morning. And so, I did it for about a week and a half. And then I don't know, something happened. I forget what though. Something happened. Maybe we went on vacation. I think we might have. So something happened and it caused me to stop, right? It's this cause and effect thing all the time. And that's what I'm trying to teach you and ask you today. Think about your causes and effects in your life. Think about why you started and why you stopped. Identification is going to help. And so I stopped, right? And as I'm processing this with you right now, I'm like, Hillary, why did you stop? And I think we did go on vacation. And therefore, when we got back, I was out of the habit again. And I have not been able to get back on that treadmill. I'm a little embarrassed, but I just haven't been able to do it. Every single day I think about it. Every single day I'm like, Hillary, today's the day. And I'm like, oh, but that comfy chair and blanket and coffee just looks better. And I choose it. And so, okay, hold me accountable. Hold me accountable. Ask me, Hillary, have you worked out today? Because I do think accountability is a big piece in this too. I think accountability helps. Why do you think people hire me for coaching? I can hold them accountable. And therefore, I need to implement that in this piece of my own life right now. I just think in the end, time management is helpful for a 9. I think identifying what's, your causes and effects are, why you're stopped, why you move, uncover, what this is in your own life. It's going to look different. Even if you aren't a 9, uncover that. And ask yourself, why are you maybe procrastinating? Are you overwhelmed? Are you stressed? Is it hard? And I think identifying this helps us. That's my purpose today, guys. And I haven't even had a drink of this coffee the entire video. It was supposed to be a little video with us and the coffee. And I just got on this roll and tangent of teaching you guys. But I think I'm going to go ahead and close that up. I really hope and pray that this video helped you today. And that it's going to help you find freedom. It's going to help you find movement. It's going to help you identify why you're not moving if you need to be moving. But one more thing, sometimes we do need rest too. You don't always need to be moving. You don't always need to be running towards a prize. We do need rest. And so that's another piece. Is this a purposeful season where you're supposed to be resting? I've had those. Those are real. Those are true. So honor your body, honor yourself, and identify what season you're in. Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know if there's anything I can help you with. Let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and close it here today. Thank you guys so much for being with me today, spending this time with me. The last thing is, if you've gotten to this point and you're like, Hillary, I need coaching on this, or I don't even know my type, I just stumbled on your video, or whatever your reason is, I always love to let you guys know I do offer Enneagram coaching packages. I offer typing sessions and different things like that. My website is linked down below. All of that information is found there. But that's all I have for today, guys. Until next time, bye guys.